What is up, everybody? It's Camo Gaming. This is part 7 of our basically multiple part series of these talent trees. Right now, we're finishing off with the Imperial Agent Operative class. Imperial Agent Operative class has so many different types of gameplays and so many different types of styles. It actually may be one of the most diverse ones of Star Wars. We have Lethality Tree, which is basically a ranged DPS class. You have the Medic, which, as you can imagine, you're a healing class, and you have Concealment. I believe this actually incorporates stealth abilities along with melee abilities, so very similar to like a rogue in World of Warcraft. However, because of the fact that I think that the Imperial Agent seems more like a range type of unit, I'm going to probably go with the Lethality class. But I may be wrong. It's just like how in World of Warcraft the Hunter had like his melee spec, and that was pretty Rufflecopter. I think it's gonna be pretty Rufflecopter to go melee as an Imperial Agent. But who knows? Who knows what might who knows what might happen later on? Nevertheless, let's go get started. So a couple of things. We're going to start from the bottom. We're going to get Daily Directive increases alacrity by 4%. We definitely want this, as this is one of the key stats for the Imperial Agent. Alacrity increases your casting and channeling haste. So we probably wanted to get that. We're going to get Lethality, increases range and technical critical chance by 6%. We're going to skip Razor Edge because increased damage dealt by Shiv by 5%. Shiv is a melee range ability. We're not going to do a lot of melee damage as using Lethality class. We're going to go with Lethal Injectors, increases duration of Corrosive Dart by 3 seconds. What Corrosive Dart is, it just fires a dart at the target that deals X internal damage over 1 second. So it just basically applies a damage over time ability. It is an instant cast, and so you can actually use it while you're kiting. We have Corrosive Microbes, so your Corrosive Dart basically gets buffed up. We are going to skip Flash Powder. It reduces all targets' accuracy by 10% for 8 seconds after flashbang ends. So yeah, we're not going to really care about that as we're PvPing and as we're leveling. We will get Slip Away, reduces the cooldown of Debilitate by 15 seconds, and increases movement speed by 30% for 2 seconds after activating Debilitate. Debilitate is just basically a stun ability, so you cast it, or you don't even cast it, you just use it and it stuns the enemy. So not only does their cooldown get lowered, you also get to run away much quicker once you use the Debilitate ability to keep yourself having distance. We will have Corrosive Grenade. Hurls a Corrosive Grenade that spews acid in 5 meter radius on impact, dealing 8 internal damage over 1 second to up to 3 targets. We will have Combat Stims. Stim Boost immediately restores 10 energy when activated. Additionally, reduces the cooldown of Stim Boost by 15 seconds. Just to give you an idea of how this Imperial Agent class works, you're basically going to have a full bar of energy. Every time you use an ability, your energy would go down. However, there are many abilities that will allow you to regenerate energy very quickly. Case in point here, Combat Stims. There is a cooldown on this. However, once you use it, you gain like a lot of energy immediately. So that's what these abilities are used for, to boost your energy back up. You will have Cut Down, increase the damage dealt by Overload Shot, Carbine Burst, and Coal. So let's go ahead and take a look at what these are. So Overload Shot blasts a target for 1 weapon damage. That is what Overload Shot does. Overload Shot does. Carbine Burst. Let's see what the heck this does. Carbine Burst. Carbine Burst executes your tactical advantage, firing a short burst that hits up to 5 targets in a 10-meter cone in front of you. Yeah, so this is just damage. This is kind of like the Mage in World of Warcraft, where you just use Cone of Cold. And then we'll have Coal. Coal is your last ability here, and Coal is fires a volley of bolts at the target, dealing X weapon damage each second. For each of your poison effects present on target, the target is cold for an additional Y internal damage each second. This is a channeling ability, and there is a 9-second cooldown. So yeah, the channeling is 3 seconds. You have a 9-second cooldown. So so that seems like it can be very useful. It looks like it'll be very useful. Yeah, it looks like it'll be pretty useful once you have all your dots abilities onto the enemy. So that's pretty good. We have Lethal Dose, increases the critical hit chance of all periodic effects. We have Vanish, reduces the cooldown evasion by 15 seconds and escape by 30 seconds. Evasion basically just you basically dodge a lot more of the enemy's incoming attacks. Escape, I believe, just removes you from any sort of movement impairing attacks. We will skip this. This is pretty good probably in PvP, but for our sake, it's not going to be that useful in leveling. This would just reduce the movement speed of enemies by a certain amount of percent. However, we will get lethal purpose. Reduces the cooldown of Adrenaline Probe by 30 seconds. In addition, critical hits with poison effects restore 2 energies. The Adrenaline Probe, what it does is just it summons a little droid next to you, a little probe, and basically boosts your energy. So it's just one of those things that just boosts your energy, just like Stim Pack, but in this case, it's you summon a little probe that comes out, and that over time boosts your energy. You will have Coal, executes your target's active avalanche, fire a volley, that's what I just mentioned before. License to Kill, reduce energy cost of Coal. As you can see, Coal is probably used in a lot of things. And we're going to skip Counter-Strike. We're going to have Escape Plan, reduces the cooldown of Shield Probe by 15 seconds, and Infiltrate by 60. So what Shield Probe is, Shield Probe basically summons a probe droid that projects a shield around the agent, absorbing a moderate amount of incoming damage for 1 second. This is super cool. This is kind of like if you're taking too much damage, it's kind of like the Death Knight, how you have that bubble, and that's what is similar to. You have that bubble, and it absorbs some damage before the bubble either takes too much damage and breaks, or just goes away over time. So you have Devouring Microbes, increases damage dealt by poison effects by 50% on targets below 30% of maximum health. Basically, it's like once the enemy is at a lower health, it ticks much harder. And then you have Weakening Blast, deals X weapon damage and causes the target to take 30% additional damage from the agent's next 10 poison effects. So as you can see, the lethality tree is just like it's a tree that's range DPS, but also it's strongly based off of poison attacks. And that's very unique for all the characters, because all the characters, I don't believe any of other ones have this poison abilities that they focus on, so that's pretty cool. We are going to finish off with 10 more skills in these other trees. We're going to get 7 in Medic and 3 in Concealment. In Medic, we're going to have Precision Instruments, reduces the energy cost of Corrosive Dart, Debilitate, and Sever Tendon. These are the ones that you use very frequently. You will have Imperial Education, increases total cunning by 9%. What cunning does is it gives you each point of cunning gives you an extra 0.2 tech damage. This is a tech tree, tech damage spells that you are using as an Imperial agent, so these are all very useful. And then we're going to have Endorphin Rush. Adrenaline Probe now immediately restores 16 additional energy. So there's so many different things of boosting. You have Stim Pack, you have your Adrenaline Probe, and then you have so many things that boost your Adrenaline Probe that gives you a lot more energy over time. So energy shouldn't necessarily be too much of a problem. There's so many things that can boost your energy. And finally, the last 3, Imperial Brew, increases the damage dealt by Corrosive Dart by 18%, and Acid Blade by 9%. Acid Blade is a melee attack, so that's not the key point. It's about the Corrosive Dart that you'll be using very frequently. Alright, so this finishes up with Part 7, Imperial Agent Operative Class. Let me know what you think of the lethality tree. Let me know if you think this is actually better than the Concealment tree. And please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out the next one. Peace out.